What did you say?
Do you ever sing our intro song in your head right before we start?
No.
I'm always like, do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
That's like the end.
It sounds a little jazzy.
I like it.
Okay.
I love a jazz moment.
Do you remember how long it took us to decide on our jingle? It was a hot minute.
It really wasn't that bad. We got it on Fiverr.
Yeah.
If you guys have ever used Fiverr before.
Yeah.
I think we paid $50 for our intro song.
But every time the feedback we were giving, we were like, can you make it a little more bouncy and flouncy and girly?
I think we did say that at one point. Can you make it more bouncy?
More bouncy and more girly was our feedback. And I don't even know how someone's supposed to take that.
She did a great job.
Yeah, it is fun.
If you guys need a Fiverr recommendation, let me know. I could send you our gal.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Happy Tuesday.
Carly's wearing her dad's jacket if you guys are watching on YouTube, and it looks so freaking cute.
Oh, wow. What are you wearing?
A sweater.
What are you wearing today?
A sweater.
You know when people are on the red carpets and they're like, what are you wearing today? Or who are you wearing today?
Yeah, who are you wearing?
I'm like,
Amazon.
I'm going to be completely honest. When they say who, I'm like, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, same.
But like, it's probably this crazy person that is a wild designer.
Mm-hmm. Some people are just really interested in designer stuff.
True.
I really have never been. I like nice quality things, don't get me wrong. But like that level of nice quality, I don't know. It's never really been, maybe like a bag here and there, but I would never be someone that's like collecting bags or looking for like a Gucci jacket or something.
Sure.
Do you remember when the Gucci belts were in?
Gucci belts.
They were like the thing in probably 2018.
Does it have Gucci all over it?
No, the black belt with the gold GG.
Oh,
thing.
yes.
Is it GG or GC?
I think it's GC, but it kind of looks like a G. Hold on, I'm looking it up. CG. Oh, no, GG. Yeah, GG. Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of knockoffs that like look somewhat similar that they sell at TJ Maxx. That's what I have.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, this looks like the one that everybody has, and it's simple and chic.
The Gucci. Anyways, how's it going?
Good. I'm really loving my house, but I do have to say...
Oh, you have to tell them.
You guys, there are bugs covering my home.
Yeah.
I will walk out the door, either door, swarmed. I simply am shocked at where I've landed in this house. Like, I'm in my office working, and my window in my office / guest bedroom is covered in box elder bugs, just crawling.
Yeah.
And
which
I'm
they look
shocked.
like little like flying beetle bugs. I didn't know what they were. I had to look it up. Maybe
they're common where I grew up in the Midwest, but it's disgusting. And it's so funny because my neighbors are quite close, or the average neighbor, and no bugs on their house. Not one. Yeah. Not one bug.
And it's so weird because we were there all weekend.
I know.
Moving you in, and there was no bugs. And I was like, at first when you told me that, I'm like, what do you mean swarmed? And then you showed me the videos. Oh, they're swarming. They're swarming.
Everywhere. They're in my hair. They're on my clothes. They come into the house when I open the door. Mm-hmm. Like, it is bonkers.
It's an infestation.
It 100% is. And then my thought goes to like, oh, is this why they sold the house? Because, come mid-March, the bugs are coming and we just can't last another season of this. Of course, that's probably not what happened. But it's just disgusting. It's like purely disgusting. I ChatGPT'd a DIY way to get rid of them, and it said soapy water, like Dawn soap and warm water in a spray bottle. So I went around my whole house spraying my house in this soapy solution. It did not work. So now when it rains, my house is going to be full of bubbles.
It's going to sud. You're going to have a house of suds.
And also
all the bugs are just going to be like taking baths, like rubbing their armpits.
To give them little loofahs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm so frustrated. It's just disgusting. And they're also all in the backyard.
I wonder if there was like a nest that hatched or something that was in your yard or...
But you would think they would see another house and say, let's go check that one out.
Maybe all those houses have had the spraying done.
Honestly, maybe. You're probably right. Like, maybe there's no chemicals on this house, which is good because I love non-toxic stuff, especially when it comes to products for my dog. And like, they say the one thing to start the wellness journey is to fire your exterminator.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Because of all the insane carcinogens in the product to kill the bugs, which is great. But if you have a dog, their paws are walking on it, they're sniffing the grass, they're eating the grass, they're eating the sticks on the grass.
Yeah.
And it's just like soaking into everything, which I get. But having a dog, I really want to avoid that if possible. So I was thinking maybe I don't mind spraying chemicals on my house and then in the backyard do chemical
Like on
free.
the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in my last jobs, I've used Wondercide and Pesty, not sponsored, and they worked okay. So I bought that and I'm going to spray it on my house and see what happens. But it's just...
Let me know how it goes because who did I have?
Oh, you had Eco Green or something.
Eco Shield.
Eco Shield.
Yeah, they came out all the time and were spraying. And then you pointed that out that like, oh, you probably shouldn't be doing that because Frankie. And I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. So I fired them. And I haven't done anything since. But I want to get some sort of non-toxic because you're right. The bugs are bugging.
Yeah, they're disgusting.
They're coming out soon.
I'd be curious what other people do for non-toxic solutions for bugs. But this is... We're reaching an emergency here because it is affecting my willingness to go outside.
Yeah, and it's only going to get worse.
And it's
going to get worse soon. Like May, the bugs get bad in May.
Yeah. So it's coming today. I'm going to hook it up to the hose and then you just spray it yourself. Pesty, you go online and you type in your zip code and it tells you what kind of bugs are in that zip code during different seasons. And then it has you select if you struggle with all of those. And also if you have any other bugs, you can type it in. And then it'll create you a solution, a natural solution with like essential oils and all this stuff that aren't toxic to dogs or to kids or humans. And you get them quarterly. And then you just spray it yourself. So that's what
really
I did
cool.
at work. Yeah.
I have a lawn care system like that I got from, I think it's called Sunday something. Sunday
cool.
Lawn but it's the same concept. Like they mail it to you.
Yeah.
They do your zip code. They see what you need and then you just spray it yourself.
Gosh darn it. We'll report back.
Yeah.
Because I'm not down for this. Usually when I think pest control, I think roaches, which I will puke if I see a roach. Like I'm really dramatic about it. And it's serious. It's a very serious thing. But this is extreme.
You got to post about it and tag them because when I moved into this house, my garage was infested with spiders. There were spiders everywhere and I took videos and stuff and was posting it.
Yeah.
And Orkin reached out and we did a partnership to get
What is it called?
Orkin, which I don't think that they're non-toxic. Okay. They're like one of the big bug removal people, but we did a partnership and they came out and took all the spiders out.
Great.
I know. So you should post about it. Maybe you can tag them and see if they'll come out.
Honestly, the issue is I don't really have time. Like we got to get these box elder bugs out. So I was talking to my dad and he was like, maybe it's the trees that are around your house.
Maybe,
that they're attracted to. But then I'm like, if I spray the trees, it's going to kill the trees, right?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You guys, there's a lot. And then I was like, okay, well at night they're gone. All the bugs are gone. So I was like, are they in the ground? And then I should just spray the house while they're asleep. And my dad thinks they go into the crevices of the house.
Ew.
And so I'm like, do I spray when they're out on the siding in the sun? Or do I spray the house when they're asleep?
I'd probably spray while they're out, while you can see them. So that they all just die.
So you watch their death.
Yeah,
You're
you watch them shrivel.
I see you. I know you. Good night.
Does that ever make you feel bad?
Absolutely not.
Oh. I feel like I always feel kind of bad when I kill the bugs.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there ever a world where we would have been a bug instead of a person? Wait, no, there's
do
not
bugs have souls?
Yeah, there's not souls in bugs.
I don't know. I think animals go to heaven.
Surely not box elder bugs.
I mean, they're creatures.
But are there feelings?
I don't know.
I know, like, dogs go to heaven and giraffes and zebras.
And giraffes.
I'm sure, and lions. I'm sure they have feelings. But, like, was there ever a world where our personality would be in a bug instead of a human?
I don't think our personality would be in a bug, but does that mean that bugs don't have personalities? I don't know.
They mate. I saw 2 box elder bugs having sex. So
tell me they don't have passion. They have feelings too. And you're gonna murder them all.
Okay. Sorry, that just hit me. I just had a quarter life crisis in that moment. Anyways.
I'm so sorry that's happening to you.
Which
that's
part?
Very unfortunate.
The fact that oh, yeah, okay.
It is really, it's bad. Well, we should post the videos on our stories.
You guys, I will.
You guys.
I will. I actually took a video of me spraying them with this stupid soapy solution, and then I started screaming because they started coming towards me. It's rough. I sent it to my neighbors and said, do any of you have this issue? And they got the screaming video. I haven't heard back from one of them. So, anyways, how are you doing? What's new? Talk to me.
I'm good. I just finally caught up on Love is Blind last night.
Let's go.
Which, did you watch it?
Haven't seen this season. I'm sorry.
Have you watched any of the seasons?
No.
Oh.
I've only seen the one we watched together.
Okay.
Last season.
Yeah.
That's the only one I've seen. So what happened? Give me the tea.
I mean, to be honest, this season was no good.
Oh, shoot.
It was no good.
Just the personalities?
All the couples, like, none of them were good matches except for one.
Oh.
Let me look up their names, actually.
Oh.
I literally will go entire seasons of shows and not know their names.
You didn't know Tyler and Ashley's name, like, as we were watching them.
I still don't know their names.
You're like, who's Tyler and Ashley?
Taylor and Daniel were the only couple that got married, and they were actually really cute. Like, they're very much so in love, and they're precious. Everyone else sucked. Yeah, I feel like I'm just kind of starting to have beef with Love is Blind as a whole in general, because the past few seasons, I felt like they're just, like, anti-Christian. Especially with this season. Like,
Really?
This season, it was apparent. And I noticed it in the last maybe, like, 2 or 3.
Wait, why?
I just feel like somebody on the production, some director has beef with Christianity. I don't know what it is, but every season they have, like, a at least 15-minute spiel that's, like, anti-Christian. And kind of, like, calling Christians, like, just trashing on them and kind of calling them out and being like, well, do you support this? Do you believe this? And
Is it like in an interview style?
Yeah, it's usually when they're in the pods. This season was a little bit more prominent because there was one couple where the guy started out by saying that his faith was really important to him. He was a Christian. He wanted to find someone with similar morals and stuff. And the girl that he clicked with was, like, very much kind of anti-God, anti-church. And she was like, I don't go to church for, like, a lot of different reasons, but her main reason was that her sister is gay. And so they had to talk it out. So because of that, it was talked about a lot more this season. But it was just so cringy to watch as a Christian and hard to watch, because I feel like if they were talking about any other religion, like if they were talking about, like, Judaism or being a Muslim or talking about the universe or crystals, people would be, like, supportive of someone's views, even if they're different than them. But whenever it's Christian, it's like, oh, we're going to bash on them and tell them that they're wrong throughout the entire season. And that's, like, what it was. And it was just so frustrating to watch. And not to say that that guy was perfect and needed to be supported in every aspect because he was a Christian, because I honestly didn't like the guy anyways. But, like...
But that's the same with any religion. Like, no religion that you claim or faith that you claim is going to be perfect.
Exactly.
Like, you're gonna have flaws.
Exactly. And, like, there was another couple where the guy had different values than the girl, and she just, like, reamed in on him in the reunion episode.
Do you think it's because Christianity has the most hurt from it, and so it's easy to...
Maybe. And I think that, like, a lot of people in today's day and age tie Christianity to certain, like, political things. Like, they go hand in hand. And so, but I don't think that that's fair or true.
I think it's a generalization.
I think it is, but I think that's what people think.
I do know a lot of people have been hurt by the Christian church, Catholic church, but it really stinks because it's just heartbreaking, because for some reason when you share you're a Christian, especially to non-believers, there's automatically a defense up with those people. And really, it's like, I do feel like if I would share that I am another faith or really am into crystals, I would be way more accepted, or, like, they would be so much more interested in. And I think the root of it is because the overgeneralization of hypocrisy in the Christian church, which I understand, but I wonder what it would look like for people to just be like, wow, that's beautiful, good for you, instead of the automatic defenses going up. And not to diminish or minimize the hurt that has come from fellow believers, like, truly. But, like, whether anybody believes or not believes, there's flaws in every person and there's hurt in every person's life. And because some people that have hurt other people have claimed faith, there's now, like, a stigma. And I think that that's just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that that's kind of the narratives being aired on TV is a little bit sad too, because just because he's a Christian doesn't necessarily mean he's one of those hypocrites.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think the same argument could be made towards any religion or belief. Like anyone
100%
is hypocritical
but
towards what they're saying.
Exactly. Like, I mean, you and I are hypocrites. Like,
Yeah.
everyone is going to be a hypocrite no matter what you say you believe.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just sad that there is this stigma, and really all we can do is control us, but it does stink.
It's just annoying to watch it repeatedly happen
True.
on Love is Blind. And I understand that, like,
True.
religion is a big topic, obviously, when you're dating and wanting to get married.
But why is there an agenda with Love is Blind?
Yeah,
to,
it just seems like it's always the same agenda. Like, it's never a positive outlook.
Yeah, and also, like, someone's purpose and meaning, if they found that should be celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
If you found identity and meaning and purpose in crystals, they would probably celebrate that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is there a difference?
Yeah, I don't know.
But you're right. I bet it's political. I'm
Mhm.
sure it's political.
That's
It's
what
just,
it felt like in the show.
I'd be curious who's behind the production of that, and like,
Yeah.
if anybody's getting feedback about that. Because even if you're not a Christian, like, hearing that over and over each season is probably like, okay, why are we beating a dead horse? Like, let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
They can talk about faith because they're trying to get married, as they should talk about faith and morals
Yeah.
and values. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
woof.
Anyways, that's my thoughts on it. I don't know. I'm unimpressed overall.
I'm sorry.
Will I continue watching it?
Of
Probably.
course. Of course you will.
Probably.
I'll watch the
but-
next one with you.
Okay.
What city were they in this time?
No,
Minneapolis.
Yeah, Minneapolis.
Okay.
Mhm.
Isn't Nashville next?
That's what I've heard. They cast in Nashville, what, like years ago?
Yeah.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
So maybe it's next? I don't know.
Okay. My gosh, can you imagine if we know somebody that goes on?
I'm sure we will.
Or know somebody that knows somebody at the very least.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. It's like, when they're in the pods, have they met each other before? Have they seen each other
Yeah,
before?
Nashville's such a small city. It is a really big city, but it is so everyone knows everybody.
Yeah, literally. Especially in like the single community.
Oh,
I feel like you know
100%.
who's single and who's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Speaking of TV shows, have you watched Apple Cider Vinegar? Have you done your homework?
Oh, yeah. I'm at maybe episode 3.
So no, you haven't watched.
You know what I have watched, though?
What?
White Lotus. Have you seen that?
I saw the first episode.
Oh, okay.
But I'm waiting. Me and my sister like to watch a show together whenever I go home to California.
Okay.
And I'm going home in a couple weeks. And we've just so happened to watch the other 2 seasons together. So we're going to watch it together.
Oh, okay. So
So I'm
let's
waiting.
debrief that. I think more episodes come out each week.
Yeah.
So we should debrief that once it's done.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I remember that I really liked the first season. The second season was weird.
Yeah.
But the issue with the seasons coming out so far apart is I forget, like, what happened in the last season. And there's always, like, tie-ins. And, like,
Yeah.
what characters did.
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't remember what this one character that's now being shown in season 3 did.
Uh-huh. The girl.
What, the spa manager?
Yeah.
But I had to look her up. I was like, what did she do in the first season? Or in the second season?
You didn't remember?
No.
Oh.
I was like, she's very recognizable, but I don't remember. So I
Yeah.
had to look it up. But what's new about your reading journey?
Oh, yeah. A little update on my New Year's resolution
Yeah.
to read 1 book a month. Did I talk about Pretty Girls on the podcast?
No.
Okay, so I listened to Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a thriller, murder mystery kind of book. Oh my gosh. So good. Trigger warning, though. There is a lot of sexual abuse and gore.
Oh,
Like, it
in a
is
book.
very graphic. It gave me nightmares one night, which I have not had a nightmare from something that I watched in, I can't even remember,
That's
years. Because I don't
crazy.
watch things like that anymore.
Yeah.
But listening to it, I was like, oh, I like mystery books sometimes. I like to throw one in there every once in a while. But this one was just like another level that just gave me nightmares. But it was so, so good.
I think I've read that one, but all of Karen Slaughter's books mesh together in my brain.
Oh, do you read her books?
Yeah.
A
I've
lot?
read, they're just like easy thrillers.
Yeah.
But there's so many different plots that she has.
Uh-huh.
So I always forget.
Okay.
Have you read her before?
No, that was my
Okay.
first one by her.
Okay. I feel like I can picture the cover. It has like water, right?
Yeah, and a necklace.
And it's like drowning.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, tell me what it's about.
What I say isn't going to give it away because it happens in the beginning. So
did
it's like
read
a
it.
girl and her husband gets murdered. And then she finds out a bunch of stuff about her husband and like what he did. And there's just twists and turns. And like it's kind of ties into her family. Like her sister went missing when she was a kid.
I have it marked as read, and
Really?
Nothing's coming back to me right now.
Okay, when we're after the podcast, I'll tell you like the details of it and see if you remember.
If it comes back. It's 4 out of 5 stars with 566,000 ratings, which is so good.
I couldn't stop listening.
Oh,
it was one of those ones where anytime I had a moment, I would listen, but I had to stop listening to it before bed because I was scared.
Stop. That's so sweet and wholesome. But then you got a nightmare.
Yeah. But it's really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I also finished A Well-Watered Woman by Gretchen Saffels. I think she lives in Tennessee, actually.
By Gretchen Wilson. I'm a redneck woman. I know
Carly has her weekly song. She sings for us every week, and we're so blessed by that.
Tunes with Carly.
Yeah. Carly's tunes.
Sorry, Gretchen, not Gretchen
We need to
Wilson.
think of a name for that. What's a word about a song that starts with a C? Carly's carols?
There you go.
Carols with Carly.
Carols with Carly. That was it for now. Gretchen Wilson, Redneck Woman.
That was great. That's a great song. That is a bop.
TBT. What's she doing these days? Sorry, back to Gretchen.
Gretchen Saffels, not to be confused. It is a faith-based Christian book, and I used it as a devotional, so I would read a chapter a day, but you don't have to do it that way. But it was really good. It was very encouraging and inspiring, but challenging. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for a faith-based book, definitely recommend that.
May I borrow?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
And I just started a 5-Star Weekend.
I've read that.
Really?
By Ellie Goldenberg.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It's cute.
Yeah,
it's
cute.
like wholesome. It's about like a lady whose husband passed away, and so she goes on a trip with her 4 best friends from life. Mm-hmm. There's some twists.
There are some twists.
Yeah.
It's really well rated. Everyone loves that book. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I have like 2 hours left on audio because I'm listening to it, and I'm like, it's not the best book I've ever read.
Yeah, it's kind of slow.
Yeah, there's not a lot of drama, really.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's like feel good, you know?
There's just like weird drama. That's just like everyday drama between friends.
Yeah.
And then you have 2 hours left? Mm-hmm. I do remember one of the twists, but I read that one on audio too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's good. And I am finishing still Single, Dating, Engaged, Married. I have 1 chapter left. I've been putting it off because I don't want to finish it. But I need to so I can mark it off on my Goodreads.
Yeah.
But I have that. And then I'm also going to start A Case for Christ, which we just talked about. But that book is about an atheist man who was married to an atheist woman, and they vowed to be atheists forever, right? Mm-hmm. But then the wife was saved and became Christian. And then the husband was like, let me dive into this. I'm going to prove Jesus is wrong. Like the resurrection didn't happen and all that stuff. So he tries to prove it wrong and he can't. And then he converts. Yeah, I think it's a very like logical based book. And I think it's just like very factual with history and everything that happened. And like, I just want to know that stuff so that I can have conversations with people when they ask me questions like that. Because we were just talking about this the other day, but it's like, my faith isn't based, like, I don't need to know any of that stuff. Not to say that that's, like, makes me better or anything. That's just how I am. And I'm very thankful to have that kind of faith instilled in me. But some people maybe with more logical brains like that kind of stuff. And so I just want to be able to be knowledgeable about that and have conversations about it and defend my faith in that way. So I'm excited to read that.
Yeah, they say if you want to debunk Christianity and, like, prove that Jesus did not exist, you have to debunk the resurrection, the crucifixion and the resurrection, that they were not historical events. And so Lee Strobel basically does that. Yeah. And it's a really cool journey because he's an atheist, like, ready to prove his wife wrong. Like, you're crazy, but the only way to do that is from the crucifixion and resurrection as a historical event. So, yeah, that's a really good book. Do you want to know what I started to read? Yeah. You're going to be so proud.
I am already.
Guess.
What is it?
Take a guess. It's on audio. You're welcome.
The Attachment Styles.
Ooh, no.
Oh, what?
She's like, darn, you really need to. The book that is based off the Silo show.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, it's a series. So I still haven't seen the show. But I was like, I should read the book.
Wait, do you like it so far?
It's interesting. I mean, I'm literally 5 chapters in. But yeah, I'm trying to like keep up with their references of like the outside world because it's kind of like ACOTAR where like you automatically start reading kind of with a new verbiage and a new vocabulary, and you don't really know what they're talking about.
It takes a minute.
So that started off right away. And it's just following the main character right now, and he just got to this, like, cell, and he's gonna leave, I think, the silos tomorrow.
Okay.
So, and his wife died.
Yeah.
No spoilers. This all happened in the first chapter. But
I'm so curious how the books relate to the show.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if it's the same or not.
That's my favorite thing to do, though, is read it and then go watch, like, the movie or the show, so I can compare and see. Have you read the books?
No, but okay. I've been tossing with the idea. I didn't know, because I love the show so much. I want to know what happens, but I don't want to ruin the show by reading the books. Like, I like watching the show, so I'm thinking maybe once the show is done, I'll go and read the books, but the shows take forever. They're like a year apart each season.
Oh, they do the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. They gotta figure that out.
I know. Like, just come out with all the seasons. Why do they do that?
Yeah. Or, like, film faster.
Yeah.
Why are you taking years to film?
It's so annoying. Well, I'm so excited. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, I will. I didn't even know it was a book series. When I was scrolling through, like, available audiobooks in the library, I was like, oh, Silo's #1. I wonder if it's the same. And it said based off the TV show. And I was like, oh.
Nice.
I know.
Yay.
So I'll keep you posted.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready to get into these dating app stories?
Yes.
We didn't even tell you guys what this episode was about.
Wait, I have a Have You Heard segment.
Oh, okay. We need a Have You Heard jingle. Do, do, do. Have you heard?
Okay, look, Maddie has a new jingle. Auto-tune. Have you heard? Steve Carell is paying for seniors at 6 high schools in LA that were affected by the wildfires to go to prom.
Really?
How sweet is that? So he, like, recorded himself, and the students thought it was AI. Like, they thought it wasn't real. And so they asked him, like, to do this one thing that was an Office reference, and he did it. It was 800 seniors across these 6 LA schools.
Wow.
And it was $175,000 to pay for them to go to prom.
Oh, my gosh.
Because most of the families in that school district, most of their houses are gone, like a good majority. He has a partnership with a foundation called Alice's Kids, which they anonymously give gifts or funds to disadvantaged kids in whatever way, but it's always anonymous, so they don't know who it comes from, but Steve Carell, for some reason, I guess, whatever. Okay, anyways. Well, it says it works anonymously to provide low-income or disadvantaged children for something they need.
But Steve Carell's like,
let me
name drop.
Yeah, but maybe, I don't know how Alice's Kids is involved, because their business model is anonymous, but maybe Steve just wanted to give the gift because it was local, but just to take away the burden of having the families pay for something. The tickets were between $50 and $185 each, just depending on the school and what they were doing. So he took that on.
That is so sweet. You know what, too? That probably meant even more to the parents than it did to the kids, you know? Just to have that taken, like, off their chest or... What
off their shoulders.
What am I trying to say?
Take it off their chest.
Take their shirts off. Oh my gosh, I'm crying. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but just to, you know.
Taking off their shoulders.
Yeah.
Taking off their plate.
Yeah.
Honestly, yes. It's like they probably have so much excitement to send their kid to prom, but so much anxiety, just like another bill stacked up, especially given a lot of those houses don't have insurance. And yeah, that's really cool that he did that.
And it's also cool that it's for the high schoolers, you know, because I feel like a lot of the relief is probably given to the parents, obviously, because they're the ones that are paying for the house.
Yeah.
But for the kids to be seen in that way and to be made special, I don't know. I feel like that's just really cool.
And there's no way their, like, life currently isn't impacted in some way. And they probably were like, my high school dream of going to prom, which is a very real thing, will not happen. Mm-hmm. So it's cool that it is happening and there's funds behind it.
Look at Steve Carell go.
Michael Scott for the win.
Yeah.
We love him so much.
What a guy.
Yeah. Should we dive into these stories, though?
Yes, let's do it.
What are we talking about today?
Dating app stories. Do you have any?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Go to the last few episodes. My goodness.
You're a guy that said you were on Love on the Spectrum.
Oh, my gosh.
I still can't get over it. I think about that a lot.
Yeah. What in the world? That is offensive, by the way.
That is.
Don't ever relate your date, especially first date, to Love on the Spectrum. My goodness.
He probably went home and was like, why did I say that?
Honestly, I feel the same way. I do that all the time. Why did I say that?
Don't we all?
If you're new here, Maddie runs an account for me to go on dates.
Yeah, I run her Hinge.
For the plot.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, on our bad dates episode, I talked a lot about bad dates that I had. There was one story that I didn't share that technically was from an app that I could share.
Spill.
I told you this recently, but it was with a guy that I'd met in real life, but then we saw each other on the apps, and he asked me out through the apps, and we went on 3 dates, and our third date, he quite literally left me for another woman on the date. It was tragic, you guys. And this guy was like a Christian guy, such a good guy, literally a gem, didn't drink alcohol, would open the door for me, pick me up. Like, he was a really sweet, genuine person. I went on a trip with him for this like brand thing. He would get up in the plane aisle and take all the ladies' bags down for them. Like, he was really sweet. So this shocked me, this behavior.
Yeah.
So he one day asked me out on a date on Thursday. Thursday rolled around. I didn't hear from him. So then I texted him. I was like, hey, did you still want to go out tonight? And he was like, oh, I actually have this event with my friend. Would you want to go with me? So I'm like, okay, he forgot about our date. Strike one. Mm-hmm. But he's inviting me to go to the event. So I guess I'll go. Mm-hmm. And I went, and I didn't know like anybody there. And he knew everybody. Mm-hmm. So it was just so awkward because I'm just kind of like standing next to him as he's like talking to all of his friends. And like I'm trying to make friends and trying to talk with people. And I did really well for the first part. Mm-hmm. But
was he like including you?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But it was just like, we're not getting to know each other at all. Yeah. So like, this just isn't a good date.
Did you have a good feeling after the first 2 dates with him? Were you like really excited to see him? Or was it like a great connection?
I mean, I liked that he was so sweet. All of our dates were pretty short, but like, I don't know. It wasn't anything to write home about.
Okay.
But there was potential, I thought.
Got it.
But I was honestly kind of worried because he didn't drink at all. And I was like, I don't know if I could
have
like
a good time.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. My whole life, we never gonna have wine around the fire or something, you know? Sure. So yeah, he was just like talking with other people. And there were a few points where he like was talking to other girls specifically, like for a while, like hanging over the bar, talking to this one girl. And I was talking to some other people at this time, so I wasn't really paying that much attention. But 30 minutes or so probably passed by without me even talking to him or seeing where he was. And the girl that I was talking to knew him as well. And she was like, where's Bobby? And I'm like, I don't know. It's a good question. And I look around, and this man is literally in the corner of the room with his hand on the wall, standing over this girl, like so close. Like their faces were like 3 inches apart, right?
I cannot.
And they're just chatting, laughing, obviously flirting. And this girl's like really cute. So it's just like not good to see. Yeah, and I'm just like looking, and then the girl who I was talking to was looking as well. We were both just like too stunned to speak. We're silent.
Yeah.
And we're like,
no words.
And she was like, how long has he been over there? And I was like, honestly, probably like 30 minutes.
Jeez.
So she was talking with me about it because it was obviously wrong. Like, he should not have been doing that. Mm-hmm. And then I started to get annoyed, obviously. And that girl went and talked to someone else. So I was just sitting at the table by myself at this point. I had talked to everyone I could talk to. I was trying to be as social as I could. But then I was just kind of annoyed and defeated.
Of course.
So I'm just sitting there. And then he comes up to me and goes, hey, I just wanted to check in, see how you're doing. And then the girl comes up to him mid-sentence. He's left her for 5 seconds to come over to me and say something. She comes up, grabs his arm, and literally pulls him away while he's mid-sentence talking to me. Like, honestly, power move on her part, but like so rude. Oh. She pulls him away, and he goes, I'm sorry, I'll be right back. Where do they go? To the photo booth. They went into a photo booth to take pictures together. And I'm just sitting there like, what is happening to me? And looking back now, I should have left.
Why didn't you leave? I mean, I get it because you're a really kind soul.
Well, first of all, he picked me up. Second of all, we ran at that time in the same kind of circle. And I didn't want to, like, see him around and people to think that I made a big deal of it or, like, that I was being dramatic, which...
He's making out in the corner for 30 minutes
well,
on
they
your
weren't
date.
Kissing, but they basically
you're having sex over there.
Basically, they're married. Yeah. But, yeah, no, I should have left looking back. But at the time, I was just trying not to be dramatic about it. But as soon as I got home, I was like... that sucked. Like, that, he was so in the wrong.
Also, like, you're probably not prepared for that. Like,
no, I was
how
in
to
shock.
act.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So they went to the photo booth, and then they came out, and he was talking to her for a while, and then he finally came back to me, and he was like, I know you probably are ready to go, but my friend just wants to go upstairs to say hi to someone real quick. Is it okay if we go upstairs and then we can leave? And upstairs is like a bar. So I said sure, because I'm a pushover and I have no backbone. And you guys, this is the worst part, okay? So him and this girl and then another couple start walking in a line, like a horizontal line. So they're all like shoulder to shoulder, right? And then I'm literally following behind like a little puppy dog. And I'm just like walking behind them. And as I'm behind them, they're looking into each other's eyes. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember that he was like, or she was like, did you know that the Hebrew word for this is this? And he was like, oh my God, like just enamored with each other. Like they're having this like
so
moment. And I'm just like, what am I doing? And so, and also, mind you, he had not introduced me to this girl. She hadn't acknowledged me. She acted like I wasn't there. And we all get into the elevator, the 5 of us. So awkward. And
you're like, what floor do you guys want?
Yeah, where's your room? He literally still doesn't say anything to me. And so I just look at her and I go, hi, I'm Maddie. And then she goes, I'm Ashley. And she like just doesn't say hi. She just says it in like the rudest, like flattest tone. Like, I'm Ashley. And then it was just silent. Like, I was expecting for him to be like, oh, I'm sorry to introduce you or something.
Yeah.
No. Just,
was she aware you guys were on a date? Do you think she knew?
Yeah, absolutely. She knew.
What kind of person?
She's awful. I still don't like her. But we went up. Just kidding. I forgive her. But I'm still salty.
Not a girl's girl.
No, she's absolutely
Certainly
not a girl's girl. And so we went up to the roof and like hung out for a second, all in a circle. Just so awkward. And then he took me home and he didn't even get out of the car to like say bye to me, which every other time he would open the door and get out and be a gentleman. And he'd basically just like kick me out of the car. And then I went home and he had the audacity to text me the next day and say, I had a great time. We should do that again.
What?
And I said, I did not.
What? Sir, what planet are you living on?
Like, he should have texted me and said sorry.
Absolutely.
He should have been like, hey.
The fact that he's not aware of what happened
No,
is
but
crazy.
he was. He was
aware.
because.
Did you guys talk about anything in the car?
No, it was like literally silent. It was so awkward.
That's so
and like I said, like we had mutual friends and stuff like that. And I'd posted this at the time on TikTok. I posted the story.
Let's go.
And
my queen.
His friend told me that like the next week or whatever, when they saw the video, he came over. They played it on the TV for him. Like my video just blasted on the TV.
Did you ever get an apology text?
No, but all the friends were like, dude, you did that. Because they were there. All the friends were there. They saw it happen.
That is epic that those friends are holding him accountable. And
well, that's what the friends said. I don't know if that's really what they said. I hope it is.
Choose to believe that because like, in what world are you doing that? How old was he?
I think we were like maybe 27.
He wasn't even drunk. I could see if you're not into the person that you're on a date with and it's brand new and someone else is flirting with you and you're into them, sure, there's like accidental flirting there, unintentional, whatever, if you're drunk. But like, you're fully sober, going into a photo booth with a girl, cornering her with your hand above the wall, like you're about to mount her. Like, what is happening? Yeah,
and it's like, nothing happened between us that would make him suddenly realize he wasn't interested in me because we literally weren't even being able to talk.
Exactly.
It was just that a nicer thing walked in and started to show him attention.
That's not how the world works. You're on a date with somebody. You picked her up.
Have some friggin' respect. And also, it just flashed back to me. So this event was kind of like formal attire, and he didn't tell me that. So I didn't know that. So I already like walked in feeling like underdressed.
Like
yeah. And I didn't like all these girls were in like really cute like cocktail dresses and stuff. And I think I was in like slacks or something. I don't know. I was not the vibe.
Slacks.
I know.
Do I know him?
I don't think so. But I'll show you him after.
Okay. What's his name?
He's married now. Yeah.
What's his name?
Something. I don't even remember his last name.
Okay.
So
Ew,
it was just
move.
It was awful.
I'm so sorry. That is so traumatic.
I know. It was not good for the ego, I'd say.
Did you say I didn't have...
No, yeah, I said I didn't have a good time.
Yeah.
And he didn't respond.
What was that epiphany?
I saw the girl like 2 months later at an event. And she had the audacity to introduce herself to me. Like, we hadn't met.
Do you
like,
think she
that
actually
happen.
didn't know?
No, I think she knew. She had to have known. If she didn't know, she's an even worse person than I gave her credit for.
Honestly, if it's unintentional, I feel better about that than intentional.
There's no way that she didn't question why I was following them around and like
100%.
She knew, and she came up to me and she goes, "Hi, I'm Ashley," and I just looked at her and I said, "I know." I'm like, "You yitch." Like at that point, I'm like, "Abso-freaking-lutely not. Get out of my face. I'm not talking to you."
Also, like you, as a woman, as a girl, as a girly pop, you have a responsibility of being a girl's girl.
Yes,
and not taking a man into a photo booth when you know he's on a date. Mm-hmm. You can text afterwards and figure something out.
You know what I heard about her? Allegedly. She opened her door and her door got hit by a bus, like a city bus. And she wore a sling for a month because she sued the bus and said that they broke her arm. And it didn't break her arm.
Was her arm broken?
No. But she was acting like it was. She was acting like the bus like hit her arm when it hit the door.
Was there not a medical report?
I don't know. I don't know if it worked out for her, but I heard that from a source that was pretty close to her.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
You know, you can never win with those kinds of people.
No.
Like there's just always someone out to get you, and taking advantage of situations like that. Come on.
Yeah.
No.
So, anyways, that's my bad date.
Okay.
Are we ready to get into
That's a brutal
these
one.
ones?
That is a brutal one. That one goes
bad.
down in history. I can't believe it took so long in our friendship for me to know that story. You were holding out for the podcast.
I don't go around telling people, "Hi, I'm Maddie. Someone left me for another girl."
No, but like we talk about dating so much, and that one was just so epic.
I know.
Epically awful, but epic.
Okay, my first one. You ready?
Baby, don't let me go. Take it slow. Rodeo.
Okay, my first one. Oh, friend, do I have one for you. When I was 20, 11 years ago, I met a guy on Plenty of Fish. So we chatted for a while on there and decided to hang out. He was adamant that he wanted to be a gentleman and come pick me up. He lived an hour and a half away from me, but I thought, whatever, we can go to a town nearby me. Wrong. He picked me up in his bright orange Honda Civic and was bound and determined to go back to his neck of the woods. He said we can go shopping and go to the dinner because there were better options out there.
Shopping.
Yeah. I was low-key freaking out, and boy, were my intuitions right. We went to the mall, then to Cheesecake Factory.
Stop.
I'm sorry, there's not a Cheesecake Factory by you.
Stop.
You're going to go to a chain restaurant. You could go to those anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
We sat down, ordered drinks, and he got a phone call. He walked outside to take the call and left me there.
What?
This fool never came back in. Oh. Mind you, I'm almost 2 hours away from home.
2 hours?
Yeah. I was freaking out. Thankfully, I have an aunt and cousins up there. They came and picked me up, but wow, never, ever, ever again. He also never reached out to me to say sorry or there was a family emergency.
Sorry.
He just left your girl high and dry, deleted the app, and lost some confidence that day.
Okay, that's just like human decency. If you're going to take somebody 2 hours away, why would you leave them? That is so mean.
And also, if that was your plan, why not do it by her house and then just drive home so she doesn't have to be 2 hours away?
Well, clearly he's not rational.
I mean, also imagine sitting in the car for 2 hours.
With a stranger.
Yeah.
No. I won't even let a stranger pick me up on a third date and go 5 minutes away.
Think about it. He drove 2 hours to pick her up, 2 hours back, and then he's going to drive 2 hours to drop her off and 2 hours back? I'm sorry, you're going to spend 8 hours in the car for this date?
Yeah. Maybe he was expecting to get some.
He was expecting to get some. Sir wanted
plenty of fish. Some. More like plenty of road. Okay, my first one. I swiped right on a boy I did not recognize. While texting, he said I should look him up on Facebook. It turned out we had known each other for years because our best friends had dated for a while and they wanted to set us up. This was when we were about 15 and both very awkward. He looks very different now. We laughed about it and thought, why don't we just go on a date now? Something we hadn't done back then. As a date, we went rock climbing.
Oh, wow. That's bold.
When it was his turn to climb, we tried to make him lower, but that's where things went wrong. Due to the weight difference, I flew up like a domino, flying against other people. He was dangling in the meantime.
He was dangling.
When I stood up on...
Imagine.
Add that one to the list for Maddie. Maddie's got a new...
He's flailing. dangling in the air.
Also, can you imagine him dangling with that stupid harness on?
And the helmet.
No.
Strapped in. Full groin strap. Just,
Hitting against the rock wall with his freaking helmet on. I can't.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So good. When I stood up on my feet, I saw him upside down waving his private parts in my direction.
I'm sorry.
Waving his wiener in my direction.
On purpose?
Well, no, he was flailing and dangling. As he came flying down, I couldn't duck in time, so I collided with his private parts, and we both fell to the ground. So he was dangling, she was on the ground, and he collided with her, nuts to face.
Is that the end of the story?
No.
Oh.
Many people saw this, but no one could help. I couldn't stop laughing at this.
They're like, it's too far gone.
I couldn't stop laughing at the situation. He was mortified, and the car ride back home was absolutely awkward. I ran into him a month later, and we never made eye contact. I understand.
I feel like if that happens, though, you just gotta laugh it out.
No, that's definitely gotta be one of those.
Yeah.
We had one of those bad date stories. I think the episode's called I Threw Up on My Date. And it was just like date fails, where the girl took an absolute tumble down those glass stairs that she didn't see.
Yeah.
And she said she just broke out laughing. And something about like the fact that you guys are laughing together makes it just so much better.
I mean, you gotta do it. You have to laugh.
In this circumstance, you're just gonna be miserable if you don't laugh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Can you imagine
hilarious.
nuts to the face?
No.
Coming down from a rock wall?
That's so funny. Why would you rock climb if you're not confident on a first date? Like, absolutely not.
No, it's never happening.
No.
I don't want to rock climb ever anyways.
Yeah, same. I hate that.
There's no desire.
No.
But good for you if you want to.
That was so funny. Okay. Whew! My next one. I went on 2 dates with a guy from Bumble and things were okay. Not bad, but not super excited about it. The morning after our second date, I got an Instagram DM from a girl saying that she was his girlfriend of 3 years and she had a feeling he was cheating. She saw him recently started following me, so she asked me if I'd gone out with him.
Stop.
I immediately blocked him and apologized to her. I had no idea he had a girlfriend. She broke up with him, and 5 years later, her and me still talk every day. We are best friends and I'm a bridesmaid in her upcoming wedding.
What?
I know. Talk about a plot twist.
How do you just, like, continue the conversation when you've, like, been the person on the opposite end of hurt in a relationship? You know what I mean?
But it wasn't her fault.
I know, but, like, you still don't want to chat with the girl he's talking to.
Maybe they, like, met up to hash it out and just, like, talk smack on him.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
Also,
I
3
know.
years is a long relationship.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
The power of Instagram.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's wild. Okay, this one's audacious. I went on a first date with a guy where we got ramen and walked to a park after. The sun was starting to set, so I started to get my things together, hoping he would pick up on the hint and suggest we walk back to our cars. Instead, he pulls out his phone and says he wants to take a picture. I think he means
on the first date?
Yeah. I thought he meant of the sunset, so I say, yeah, for sure, before I realize that he's taking 2 candid shots of me.
Oh, dear. Not the candids.
I wish I had told him I wasn't comfortable with that, but I was so thrown off I didn't even say anything. As he was showing me the pictures, he swipes back 1 picture too far, and I see it's a candid photo of another girl in the exact same spot we're at this park.
You're lying.
Yes. Dude, come on.
And it had to have been like the day before.
And it's not a move. Like, that's not a candid shot of you at a park during the sunset is not a move where, like,
no.
Hot.
So hot.
No.
Wait,
we don't
what
want
did
it.
she say? Could you imagine how awkward that was?
No, it's awful. It's awful. Yeah, you're right. If he swiped 1 too far over, it had to have been the day before.
Yeah.
Ew. This sends alarm bells off in my head, so I make an excuse that I'm not feeling well and literally book it to my car. Once I got home, I unmatched with him and never saw him again.
Jeez.
Dude, lock it down.
Why that's not even a good date.
This is what's out there.
Love that for us.
I'm kidding.
Kidding. We have hope.
Kidding.
No, that's so awkward. What would you do in that situation? Would you call him out and say something?
I would like to think so, but every story we read or situation even we've been in, we're too in awe of what's going on that we black out, that we aren't thinking clearly. Mm-hmm. So I probably would yell, oh dear, and run away or something like that.
I feel like I'd be like, oh
dear.
Yeah.
I'm going to go now. Yeah, I probably wouldn't even say. I'd be like, you want to continue the date? You want to go get drinks?
Literally continue it on for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then never talk to him again.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, my next one. Oh, do I ever.
Let's go. Good start.
A few years back, I had set up a Hinge date with a guy. We planned for a walk in this cute nature spot. I arrived on time. He, however, did not. I texted him, and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll be there soon. Fast forward to 45 minutes later, and he has yet to arrive. I started to walk back to my car, and I was over it. Then, out of nowhere, he appears. He was really apologetic, and I thought, well, I'm already here. Might as well stick around. After not long at all, he says he has to go to the bathroom. He was in there for at least 10 minutes. I was like, strange. Maybe he had to poop. He finally comes out and is acting much more frantic than he was before, sort of bouncing off the walls energy. For whatever reason, I continue on. I kid you not, this dude went to the bathroom 3 more times over the course of an hour-long date. After each visit, he emerged acting more berserk. The third time he started
doing drugs?
Yeah, is he doing cocaine? The third time, he just decided to go to the bathroom in the woods. That's right, he literally pees a few branches away from me.
What?
He tried to make out with me multiple times. He mentioned a few times throughout the hour how he has a steak marinating at home and a bottle of wine waiting for us if I'd like to go there instead. I declined every time, and once he peed in the woods, I'd finally reached my people-pleasing limit. I know I should have been out of there long before, but this was before I had learned to set strong boundaries. I told him I had to go, and he insisted on walking me to my car. On the stroll, he starts asking me the weirdest stuff, like if he started a football team, do I know any linebackers that are available?
You're kidding. You're like, actually, I have a whole contact list of linebackers.
Yeah, actually, would you like to network right now?
Yeah.
He then proceeds to tell me he forgot where he parked and asked if I could help him find it. I obviously declined, hopped in my car, and left him in the dust. To this day, I'm convinced he had been taking some sort of drug on those trips to the bathroom. Yikes.
That is absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
What a
so
bizarre,
many different weird things in that.
But just to give you some grace, there are so many stories I've read from submissions of he was 45 minutes late, he went to the bathroom, thought, what the heck, I'll just do it since I'm here, and they got married. So it's okay that you stayed and, like, you kept going. Maybe, I'm glad you knew, like, where your line was, though. And I think that would be, especially when you're in the moment, again, it's hard.
Yeah.
Because you're like...
You don't want to be rude.
You don't want to be rude. Yeah, exactly.
But sometimes you do need to be a little rude. But
I also feel like the more dates you go on, the more you're like, oh, absolutely not.
Could you imagine if your date just started peeing in the woods?
No.
That is crazy behavior.
It's a very Wisconsin thing to do.
And he was for sure on drugs.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. I'm sorry you went through that. I'm glad you're safe,
3 times in an hour.
Also, why are you asking a woman if she knows linebackers? Like, wouldn't you ask a big dude?
He was too hyped. He probably couldn't even think straight.
He was motivated as ever.
Jeez.
Okay, my next one. It's short, but it's good.
Okay, I'm ready.
One of my best friends went on the app during the tail end of COVID, met a guy, really liked him. They went out a few times, and then he broke things off with her to move in with a girl he met on Club Penguin during the height of COVID.
No. Not Club Penguin.
During COVID.
That thing's still around?
Was 5 years ago.
Did you ever have a Club Penguin?
Dude, did I? When I tell you how fast I went down that freaking ski slope on my tube, I was obsessed with Club Penguin. But that was the same time I was obsessed with Sims.
Yeah, it was
like 6th grade.
We were kids. I wasn't allowed to have it.
Club Penguin?
Yeah, because you could go in the chat rooms. You could chat with people.
It was so fun.
I know. Such a bummer.
Oh, you missed out. We could have been friends.
Could have found the love of your life.
Honestly, though.
Should we try it out? Should we make a Club Penguin account? Maybe there's some eligible bachelors.
That's right.
You never know.
Yeah, Club Penguin's crazy.
Oh, honestly, a slay.
Yeah.
How many people can say they met the love of their life on Club Penguin?
Yeah, but she got cheated on from a Club Penguin experience. Cheated might be a stretch, but...
That's kind of cool to say. You could either view that as, like, a cool story to tell, or, like, he's such a nerd, I dodged a bullet.
Yeah, true.
You know?
He was a Club Penguin guy, and I didn't know it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Funny. Good point.
All right, my next one. Back in 2017, I found out my fiance had a girlfriend, so needless to say, that ended abruptly. We had been together for 6 years, and I had never been on a dating app before, but my girlfriends convinced me to download Bumble because the girls had control of the conversation. So long story short, I was chatting with this very attractive man, agreed to a date. We meet up, and he hops out of this huge lifted truck. He's 5'6", not 5'9", like his profile. I'm 5'2", for context.
Hey, 4 inches taller.
I know, it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
But she says, and he grabs what I assumed were sunglasses and puts them on. We go into the restaurant and he keeps them on, but I don't say anything because I assume he needs them.
What?
I knew by him talking about himself and not letting me get a word in that we weren't going to be having a second date. But 20 minutes into the date, he bursts out laughing, throws the glasses off his face and says, I don't really wear glasses. These are 3D glasses from the movies. I thought it would be a funny icebreaker. Needless to say, this man couldn't read the room, got a side hug at the end of the date, and was blocked before I left the parking lot.
Stop.
My first Bumble date was a memorable one.
Oh my gosh, that does go down in the books. Holy smokes. What a buffoon. What? I love his humor.
Poor
but
guy.
Not it.
He's like, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
This is really
You get down from a lifted truck in slow-mo and put on 3D glasses all for a bit. That's just incredible.
And you're 3 inches shorter.
Yeah.
That is extreme.
Also, 5'6" is not that tall for a boy, but he is 4 inches taller than you, which is nice.
Yeah.
What's that like? That's good, though.
I know.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
I love how quickly he was blocked. Okay, this one is so good. Okay, so oh my, about 5 years ago I met this guy on Hinge and we chatted for about a week. I should have noticed the red flags prior to saying yes to dinner. Name dropping, talking about money. Is this the same guy? Which, ew. Anyways, we go to this restaurant I'd never been before and it was very fancy. He ordered for me, which I also hated.
Ew, I hate that.
He ordered a bottle of wine as well. That was expensive and he had to put his card on file prior to ordering it. Also something I've never seen before.
Wow, kind of a flex.
Yeah. We eat dinner, convo was fine, but nothing to write home about. We are wrapping up dessert and he excuses himself to go to the bathroom. 20 minutes go by and I text him and it goes green.
Don't you say he left.
I had a male server check the bathroom and he was a goner. Our bill came and it was $1,250, including tip. The server felt so bad for me, and then we remembered his card was on file for the wine. They ran the card, but it was declined.
Oh my God.
Declined! The manager came over. Meanwhile, I'm so red and embarrassed and said how sorry they felt for me and said they can give me half off. $625 later, I deleted Hinge. Thankfully, I met my now boyfriend of 4 years just 6 months after that debacle. We actually went to the same spot for drinks. I still can't afford to eat there. About 2 years ago, and the manager unfortunately recognized me. He covered our first drink.
Oh my God.
This is such a good story. Like, just the way it was written, the experience was so extreme and awful, and I'm so sorry, because that is so much money to cover, but, like, the fact that there's also full circle, and you went back to the same restaurant, and the same manager was there, and they covered your drink, like, full redemption. But
I'm stunned.
Brutal. $1,250, and then the card declined. That's a movie.
He probably does that all the time.
What's the point?
That he eats a really nice meal, and he probably likes just like he probably hates women. He probably is someone that like maybe was hurt really badly, and he wants to like stick women with these really expensive bills and make them. It's like a power move. Yeah, I think it's probably like he has this vendetta.
You think we've ever met people like that and just not known it?
I hope not.
That's just brutal.
$1,200. Jeez.
And they gave her half off, which is so nice, but like,
still, that's so much money.
What do you do with that? Do you call the credit card company and just explain the situation?
Yeah. I mean, that's nice that the restaurant did that.
Yeah,
because
but
they didn't have to do that.
So much money to be left with.
Oh my gosh. I am baffled right now.
Yeah. We should let that one cook for sure.
That one needs to simmer.
Yeah.
That man needs to be arrested. He's literally a con man.
Honestly, it is kind of like robbery. You're literally stealing from these women. Like, you literally are. You're taking their money. They just have to fork it over at the second half of the date.
And I wonder how often he does that. Like, how does he get these cards that are going to decline?
True.
And won't they see that it declines before? Isn't that the point of running it?
I think putting it on file is different than running it.
Oh.
Because they're not like putting a hold on the credit card or charging it. They just have the card info.
Oh.
That is absolutely insanity.
Imagine the relief she probably felt when they remembered that they had his card, and then the devastation when it was declined.
Yeah, you're right. They were like, oh, we're safe. We can charge this butthole's card. And they're like, ooh, you're actually never going to believe this. Yeah, that's a night. That's a night.
You should report him to Hinge. I'm sure you did.
I have so many questions.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I'm speechless.
See, I feel like if that happened in the days of TikTok, like if that happened recently, you could exploit that man on TikTok. Because he had pictures from his Hinge.
Totally.
Post him online. Does anyone know this man? We need to find him. Oh, what I would do to find him?
I bet
the
so
cops
many
show up.
girls would like send $5 just to help out.
Honestly.
They would. Maybe you still can't.
Maybe we should do that. If you have pictures of this man, you need to tell this story on TikTok.
Yeah. Or we'll do it for you.
Yeah. Okay. Went on 3 dates with a guy who checked all the boxes as far as I could tell. First date, we talked about how it was his 40th birthday that weekend, that he had family coming to town, etc. Second date, I got him a birthday card with a gift card to a coffee shop signed for our third date. Oh, that's cute.
That's sweet.
Then I gave it to him at the end of a great second date. Third date, I mentioned I had showed my friend his profile, and up until then, I felt like he was a little more into me than I was to him, so I expected him to joke with me that I must really like him if I showed him to my friend or something. But instead, he had a very weird vibe and started questioning me. You showed your friend my profile? Who is she? What does she do for work?
What?
And he just had all these sketchy questions with a sketchy tone. Well, after that, I immediately started Googling all the info I could find. Turns out he had lied to me about his age, so I ended it because of the lying. A week later, my friend recognized him on a different dating app under a completely different name. Yikes.
No.
Isn't that
you saved
scary?
yourself. See, something about the spidey senses and just the intuition. Good for you.
But she didn't the whole first 3 dates.
But she did after.
Once he started being weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. But hey, date 3, always important.
Yeah.
Give it 3 dates, they say.
You gotta be Googling people before, though.
Oh, easy.
You know?
Yeah. Send them my way.
Yeah.
I'll find everything you need to know. Yeah, you should be looking them up before.
Yeah.
But if they're going by a fake name, like which one was correct?
Yeah, the name that you had or the name that your friend saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. If they have a fake name, you really can't find. I mean, if you have their phone number, I'm sure you could find a lot from their phone number.
Oh, for sure. But you know how you say, like, I want somebody that doesn't even have an Instagram?
Yeah.
It's like, if they gave you a fake name, you'd be like, they just don't have an Instagram.
Yeah, true.
New fear unlocked.
Honestly, you should also probably get their driver's license plate number.
Yes. Yes.
If you really want to be safe.
Yes. Passport number.
There's creepy people out there. Social security number.
Yes. Yeah, people suck. Also, what's your intention with using a fake name? Like, are you going to kill them? Like that's the only option in my brain if you're using a fake name.
Yeah, or they have like a really sketchy past.
Yeah.
And they don't want you to know.
People suck.
Yeah.
My last one. I finally decided to try the apps, Bumble specifically. I talked for maybe 2 days before he asked me out on a date that Friday. He told me he was an accountant and really wouldn't go into detail about his job, and when I asked him about it via messages, he didn't respond. We met and I thought he was so much cuter in person. We were at a Korean barbecue restaurant for the first date, and when we finally sat down at our table, he goes, I have something to tell you.
Oh no, I'm scared.
I'm not an accountant. I'm an FBI agent.
What? The dream. Honestly, that's so cool.
I was actually so embarrassed that people were overhearing and thought this guy was lying to me, thought I was stupid or something. Long story short, we instantly clicked, 0 games were played, and 2.5 years later, we're married, bought our first house, and we're so in love.
Aww.
He's the absolute best person I've ever known for countless reasons, and I'm so grateful for Bumble.
Wait, that's so cute. Oh my gosh.
FBI agent in hiding.
That's kind of like trusting of him on the first date. He's like, actually, let me tell you, I'm an FBI agent.
True.
What's protocol with FBI agents? Are they allowed to just tell people openly, or do they have to keep it a secret? I wonder.
No, I'm sure they can tell people, but maybe they want to wait until you're in person just in case. For safety purposes.
Don't leave a digital track.
Yeah. Like if she wasn't like had pure intention, but I guess you don't know the first date, but
yeah.
Probably just wanted to make sure he wasn't being catfished.
Yeah. Aw, that's cute.
It is cute. It's a success story.
There's hope from the app.
I had so many marriage stories.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just didn't read them.
No.
We don't care about the
drama.
Ones.
No, I'm kidding. There were so many good ones that ended in marriage, especially when they were like, they were late or they puked or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't lose hope, ladies.
Don't lose hope.
There is hope on the apps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Waiting for 1/6 story here.
Yeah, you can either get stuck with a $1,200 bill or you can find the love of your life.
That's right. Nothing in between. One of the two.
This was fun. Thank you guys for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok and tell your friends about us. Tell your friends to tune in. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.